Yeah, I mean, this doesn't seem like it's entirely Mudahar's fault. Now, in a situation, if there was ever like a comparable situation where I was in the crosshairs in a similar vein, I'm sure he would farm that sweet Hassan points aggressively and in the most sinister fashion possible. I will not be doing that to him. I don't think that he was friends with that one guy Nooks. He's the guy with a VTube avatar, right? That like definitely is into some weird but you know, I won't do that to him. I don't think that this is as damning for Mudahar. I don't know what the video is. I don't know what he says in the video.
Hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas if this is the one time you hear from me until then. The beast drama will never end. Well, tonight we're not going to be talking about it. I've got a ton of stuff queued up. My starting point, as you could probably see if you're a keen tab reader, my starting point is going to be the Twitch Hassan drama, because this is the video that kickstarts Hassan Piker, and spoiler alert,
is the actual proper journalism and an actual proper objective.
Or not. Wait, I'm confused. Why is the intro to this video Hassan getting up and walking away? Bro, even his highlight channels show him not reacting to that's so funny. Jesus.
Does this rev up your judgment about some ordinary gamers and Nooks Taku watching lolliporn together on a Discord call?
Okay, so that's where we're gonna get there, but I wanted to point out this is how we get there. We're going in order.
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this thing started. Mudahar has been targeted by young Hassan Abi after exposing him.
And today's video is going to be a bit of a heavy subject matter. So, before we jump in completely, obviously with the title, you obviously know something is pretty wild at Twitch.
How many of you guys familiar with the whole Twitch adpocalypse? We kind of didn't cover it as much because it was happening during the Mr. Beast situation, but essentially one Dan Saltman has challenged the entirety of Twitch, roped in the ADL, talking about the anti-Semitism problem on the platform. Ultimately, Denims, Frogan, Capri Sun Poppy, and some other person whose name is lost to history were eventually banned for doing what is it, a panel for ranking people from Habibi to Jewish hummus lover. Okay, there's been a whole thing right now, a campaign to destroy advertisements on the platform. Lots of money has been lost. Some people say that it's not a Twitch adpocalypse. It seems pretty clear to me that it is, but it appears that they've basically stopped promoting political content, or at least they're planning on no longer running ads on political content. So it's kind of destroyed the entire sector.
Now, this is in regards to serious world...
and again, if you're wondering what my thoughts on that situation are, I'm not in favor of attacking sponsors. I haven't used my audience specifically to go push this further like that, and push my audience to contact sponsors in particular. I don't like that stuff. Realistically, there's not much of a way to hold Twitch to account. I understand that you guys probably aren't the biggest fan of Destiny right now, but the weird system they have in place where they won't unban him and you can't... The unban appeal has to go to one specific employee. The weird double standard that Hassan gets for all of his friends. This is a corrupt platform, and I think it does need to be destroyed. That's my personal opinion. I take absolute pride in watching Twitch explode. So that's my level of bias. I'm just adding that into the discussion here. I do think the way that they run their site, the things that they do on that site, are promoting a culture that's toxic to the online space. And I think Twitch needs to be like obliterated.
Shattering events that, again, I'm not an expert in, so I'm going to kind of tread lightly in this situation, explain and discuss things that I reasonably can. But if you want to dive away from heavy stuff and you want to stick to something a little bit more web video, so get excited for that one. We're looking at a lot of wild websites. And if you want to, look at things like LSD Dream Emulator, maybe some more creepypasta stuff, because I'm going back to that. This week is probably going to be a fun week for some of you.
All right, let's jump ahead. Here we go.
Ones where it kind of dominated the entire community for a little bit. So obviously, it's one of those things where I kind of want to jump into it because the rabbit hole that I've went down has shown me just how wild and insane Twitch, if not the entire internet, is effectively becoming. So to give you an idea, Asmongold, a couple days ago, made some rather inflammatory statements that got his account banned for 14 days. Now, the statements in particular I'm going to play, and obviously, I just want to preface, Zach Asmongold.
Okay, we don't support the statement that he made.
They have genocide built into Sharia genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people. They have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a
I'm sorry, watching back at this clip, like, it's never been more apparent to me. I just can't believe some guy who literally couldn't clean his room is talking about genocide in general. No matter what your position on this is, just to hear streamers have this discussion just breaks my fucking brain. Am I the only one? Like, looking back on this clip, it's funnier and funnier every time. Obviously, he's made several statements since then or whatever, and I guess cleared it up. But it's just so fucking funny to me that on any given day, like, you ever see that tweet where it's like, on any given day when I go on, and I log into twitter.com, I'm at risk of seeing a 14-year-old's opinion on something? That's literally the streamer thing. Like, at any given day, I'm at risk of hearing what a streamer thinks about the real world. It's absolutely absurd.
They're terrible people. It's not even a question.
So to cut the whole clip off over here real quick, obviously this kind of inflamed individuals because Zach was referring to...
You could be right and have a messy room. Okay, that's fantastic. What I was saying is you have a person who's not, like, around the real world. The person who's very secluded, who doesn't really do anything other than streaming, right? A person who, like, smears his tooth blood on the wall because he doesn't want to go to the dentist. Okay? I don't respect you. This guy doesn't know anything about the real world, but he's giving takes on the real world, and of course he's going to have problems with that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the demographic of people that you're expecting to be talking about the experiences of the average viewer. I love when I watch streamers talk about, like, their hardships and how difficult streaming is, but they talk to you guys who, some of you are probably watching me right now, listening to your AirPods while you work a retail job. If I sat here and I started whining about how little money... Guys, we only have 4 out of 5 on our donation goal for the night. Can you guys really step it up? Doesn't that make you roll your eyes? Don't you feel kind of shitty when people do that to you? I don't know. Guys, can we just hit the goal?
To Muslims, specifically from what I understand, Palestinians at the time, when asked to talk about a conflict like this. Now, obviously, you know, Zach was one of those people that said, weird as fuck to see many people coming out with statements about this conflict as if they need to comment on it. Can we stop this weird culture around expecting people with no relevant backgrounds or educations to talk about world events / politics? And I actually agree 100% on that. It's one of the reasons why I don't really go into these topics, because I'm a fat Indian guy whose background is computer science and cybersecurity. That's all I know, okay? That's where I come down to. It's either that or playing video games. I'm not a global expert on anything, which is why I really don't talk about these situations. So obviously, Asmongold...
Do you always hear this? Like, it's like, I'm not going to talk about... actually, the perfect person who has said stuff like this is Asmongold. Like, in the past, Asmongold has made statements saying, like, why do you want streamers to comment on real-world, like, issues like this? Obviously, they're not, like, researching foreign policy all day. They're playing League of Legends. And then he went and said it anyway.
Walked it back, apologized.
Actually, the most famous thing you hear before content creators start getting political is when they say something like, guys, I don't get political. And then they get political.
And said, my bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things, or have views I find regressive. So, in this situation, one could, you know, if they were to extend the
guys, we hit the goal.
Could say that
you guys earned another goal.
Referring to extremists in the Islamic religion, and their view on people in the LGBTQ camp, all right? As you all know, religious fundamentalists, whether you're in Islam or any religion, probably don't take too kindly to people that are gay, and that's probably what Asmongold was going for. Now, obviously, his idea of conflating this was probably not the smartest way to handle the situation.
Dude, you know what's crazy is that Mutahar just dropped like a subtle defense of Asmongold, and that's like, if this was the video that people were talking about on the Reddit right now, this would be enough, like, to condemn him. Like, on r/YouTube drama, like, ignore all the stuff that happened in the last 48 hours. The thread would be titled, like, Mutahar gets exposed after he, like, defends Asmongold's racist take or something.
Pretty much how the situation ended up going. Now, he earned himself a 14-day ban, and what this did was basically show people that, hey, listen, this is wild stuff being said. This is some insane shit going on Twitch. But down the road on Twitch, there were plenty of other commentators known as Hassan Piker, and a few people in the politics sphere that basically show that there is kind of a double standard in how Twitch enforces its actual, like, you know, TOS. So a couple, like, days ago, if not a day ago, it turned out that Twitch was apparently banning accounts from Israel from actually signing up. When making an account from Israel on Twitch, it apparently ended up being where Twitch provided one error into its site code where it said, oops, we encountered an unexpected error. 2023 was the error code, and the code was blocked country IP. So
again, if you guys don't know what happened here, they defend this by saying, like, it was just for for email related signups, but eventually, apparently, since like a little after the attacks on October 7th last year, the entire Israeli area was like blocked. Like, what is it? Like 80% of the world's Jewish population just couldn't make an account on Twitch. Dan claimed that he had evidence, and he showed something at like indicating a phone sign up wasn't working either, but they just forgot, I guess. If you guys don't know how Twitch works, it's not like an automated system. People talk about how YouTube is bad all the time, but when you go on Twitch, when they unban people, you'll always see those messages from the accounts being like, Denims was banned for 23 hours, 45 minutes, and 30 seconds. Or Frogan was banned for 22 hours, 36 minutes, and 45 seconds. It's because somebody is manually flipping the switch. It's not like on an automation timer at 24 hours exactly, your account, or when the daily refresh comes, your account gets unbanned. It's because the chimpanzees are slamming their keyboards, unbanning people. So somebody forgot to just remove all the ban all the Jews code. That was literally like a fucking thing that was in the code. They had the ban all the Jews code, and somebody forgot to remove that line for like a year. Forgot. Wink, wink.
So this apparently ended up being addressed by Twitch. This was brought forward by Destiny and his like co-host on his
So
podcast.
we're going to jump ahead to the Hasan stuff, because again, on the channel, if you want to check out other VODs, we talk all about the Twitch versus terrorist stuff. We played that on the channel. We talk about the Frogan related drama. We talk about the panel and all that stuff. Everyone's kind of aware of that. We're jumping to more of the Hassan Piker stuff here.
Right. You know, promote this kind of stuff on the platform. And it's not even just that. It gets to a point where, like, imagine being a political streamer and you bring a actual pirate, a actual criminal onto your streams. And instead of, you know...
Now, this is why Hassan's mad, because he platforms a Houthi terrorist and shows fucking videos of fucking people hijacking ships as, like, a good thing, calling them very musical people. So that's why Hassan Piker is upset.
Being respectful and being a proper journalist, you get on your knees and suck their dick for about 32 minutes. Watch this clip.
They win over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
That's so funny. Think about China. Does he know anything about China?
He's saying he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but
Thank you for the raid, now recording.
one of the captain was Chinese, and he did plot with them, and he danced to music with them, and he was vibing, so he likes him, yeah.
So,
Dude, these guys are saying it's our fault or whatever that there's a fucking Twitch adpocalypse. This guy interviews terrorists on their site while fucking again like Coca-Cola ads are running on this.
What? That's so crazy. So they're just fucking chilling with the captains? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that we're talking about somebody that has been taken hostage who, quote unquote, is being chilled with. And again, this is just right on Twitch.
America's like so America's like blowing them up while they're just like doing cat and fucking chilling with the captains. Like, how does he feel about that? Isn't that fucking crazy? Like, I don't know how to describe.
Now, these clips were seen 8 months ago on Willie Mack's channel, but you can watch this video right now. Hassan will sit there and hypebeast these people without any care in the world. Like, this man does not critically apply any form of journalism. He is just showing these people and promoting them in this incredibly positive light when there are actually just pirates and terrorists who are putting people in harm's way, especially people that have nothing to do with the Israeli conflict in general. So again, if you want to check it out, Willie Mack's video is great.
And it's like right now there's such a huge quote unquote anti-Zionism kick. If you at any point if you think that Jews have the right to have like Israel to themselves or whatever, or Israel has a right to exist, rather, is probably the correct terminology used. You're a Zionist. That's just it. That you're a Zionist. So yeah, you can capitalize off of that stuff and say, well, basically anything you want about these people, and there's no problems there with Twitch.
Covers this topic. I would highly recommend you see this to see actual proper journalism and an actual proper objective coverage of the situation.
So he brings this kid on and basically, you know, talks about One Piece. You know, they have a whole like gag and everything. And the thing about this kid is, obviously, if you know him, like this guy is an influencer called Timothy Chalamet. Okay, so the Houthi movement, basically a movement where, again, this kid is part of a...
I don't think he's going to mention it, but like this guy got banned, what was it, for 48 hours? He was unbanned, or 24 hours, because he was a terrorist, right? I don't know what they actually banned him for, but people were like, hey, you have a terrorist. So Twitch bans him, and then they unbanned him, and then they unbanned his alt account because while the terrorist was banned, he tried to ban evade. And that was not a permanent ban initially. So somebody manually flipped the switch and brought his account back.
A piracy organization where you can see him literally on like actual captured vessels. It's not something that's like a hidden secret. He brought this guy on and basically popularized him. Now, before people in the Hasan camp go, but Muda, this kid has seen only suffering his entire life. So obviously, he's going to be part of these situations. And, you're being a little bit harsh. Now, I'm one of those people that is empathetic towards individuals, and obviously if the
I'm not. This is the fucking pedo thing again. Dude, but Mutahar, he was groomed as a child. That's why he hurts people as an adult. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I absolutely hate that shit. Every single time. Oh no, he had a bad life. That's why he's posting pictures of like Jewish people getting skewered on his Twitter timeline.
this kid has only ever seen death and destruction in his entire life because of the Saudi-Yemen conflict, then yes, I can understand why they would do such a thing, but never in a million years should you as a content creator or a journalist, I guess, or a political commentator ever bring somebody on and kind of popularize these things, okay? These people are ultimately part of a criminal operation, an enterprise, a terrorist movement that shouldn't be glorified. And it's not similar to interviewing like bin Laden back in 1997 with CNN. These are situations where even back then, these were interviews done respectfully, and it wasn't in a way to glorify anybody who was part of a seriously criminal operation that isn't designated just by one country, but by a consortium of countries, even countries that are diametrically opposed to each other, politically. These are actual interviews that people do with criminals as a way to get multiple sides of a story. It's not meant to glorify somebody or glorify their cause as something just.
In a way, it's like presenting people like Sneak or Andrew Tate, who I've made videos on in the past. It's like if I promote them or talk about them on my channel, it's usually with a very objective view. It's usually with a very careful view, where obviously if they promote bad ideologies, right, like hatred or bigotry.
I'm sorry, there's just no reason to ever bring a fucking terrorist on Twitch. Nobody, I don't think there's a single content creator who is like, read up into it enough, prepared enough, ethical enough to engage with bringing a fucking terrorist on a platform. And I think if you do something like that and then there's an ad repercussion after the fact and the platform doesn't want to do anything about it or even comment in any way, again, you have to start looking at Hassan Piker, because that's why that's happening.
It's about sitting there and deconstructing it with actual facts and logic instead of, sitting down and kind of, hype beasting it to the point where you're normalizing it to a whole bunch of communities, right? It's like hosting a neo-Nazi on your actual channel and not combating them on their terrible beliefs or their violent or extremist beliefs, right? You have to be able to counter these people if you're willing to platform them. Otherwise, they just have a free speaker to operate their, shitty beliefs over. And these are things that, again, no matter which side of the political spectrum you fall onto, I would imagine political content creators would be a bit more careful than even average YouTubers. If you got people like me who are just engineers and computer scientists that know better and know how to actually handle these facts, then these people are complete buffoons that shouldn't be operating in this field.
And Hasan in particular won't debate people of equal prep.
Who is Bunty King?
Right?
Nicholas DeOrio.
He will refuse debates with anybody who's knowledgeable on the subjects that he's talking about, but then he'll debate like fucking Too Mad or Willie Mack's show. And when Willie looks good in a conversation with a guy who streams 8 hours a day talking about politics, it really shows the cracks of how stupid this fucking guy actually is. He did talk to Too Mad.
Field of content in the first place.
Now, that same guy that Hasan was kind of sucking the dick off basically was out there posting the executions we will carry out on all Zionists in this situation. Now, one could sit down and probably say, yeah, he's probably talking about, just Zionists, not Jews in specific, but, looking into this person and the Houthi movement and the group in particular, the idea of anti-Zionism is also conflated with, anti-Semitism in this situation as well. It's just more hateful rhetoric that is being constantly pushed down anyone's feed. I think hate from any angle is bad. But this guy is not necessarily any innocent,
I'm pretty sure he actually spoke to him
Twit.
Because people were saying that Destiny was feeding him. I'm almost positive that Too Mad was on call.
Who is in such a weird state right now, has decided to let this guy constantly stream.
No, you might be right. You might be right. It might have just been on Twitter because he was fighting with him on Twitter, and then he was talking about doing a debate. He might have turned him down. That was the case.
The account to which he's an actual streamer on Twitch right now.
This entire conversation is fucking idiotic.
Yeah.
It's not a Jewish person.
He invoked Destiny as a reason to not do the debate, which, to be clear, I imagine Destiny probably would have tried to feed him.
He said, why am I held accountable for some random fucking...
Because you platformed him. How fucking hard is that? You're the one that put him on your channel unapologetically and then memed with him about One Piece. Didn't ask him one single critical question. That's you. You did that. I'm criticizing you. You're not accountable for him. You're accountable for yourself.
Now, honestly, that's probably the best way to put it. Thank you, Ethan Klein, for saying it like that. And, at the end of the day, it kind of almost harkens back to, again, hey, listen.
I mean, these are the people who shit on every single, non-leftist bread tuber creator for platforming fucking anybody. We've been living in guilt by association for, the past 5 years, all right? If you've even slightly associated with anybody badly, ever. I mean, people are mad at me because I'm friends with Mutahar because he deleted the fucking video that we're going to cover in about an hour. Okay, like, this whole game is fucking guilt by association. You platformed a fucking terrorist. You don't think that's gonna come up? Why is that me?
If you're going to put somebody on your channel, you really should be able to counter them on their terrible beliefs. You know, these are the same people that would say if you have like 10 people at a table and one of them are Nazis and you're not countering that Nazi on his terrible beliefs, then congratulations, you have 10 Nazis at that table. You know, these are the same people that would say it, and I feel like you should.
I mean, like, go back to Denims. Denims was talking about how, like, Froggy Fresh hanging out with Sam Hyde makes him a white nationalist, and she doesn't understand the argument why you probably ought not platform fucking terrorists on Twitch.
Accountability. And honestly, if you come across violent or hateful rhetoric, you should be combating it. Like, you 100% should.
What's even fucking wild is when discussing this person in a very recent interview with Asmongold, like when they were talking about why Asmongold had his like wild takes. This is what Hasan had to say about that pirate. Watch this.
We're not like, oh, you're trans, we're gonna kill you. They were like, oh, thank you for your fucking humanitarian aid. They don't give a shit. Like, it's the same as any other kind of person. I talked to a teenager from Yemen. Okay,
oh God! Wait, what? Wait, what? No.
Everyone called, myself included, called Tim Houthi Charlotte. Like, it's the same as any other kind of person. I talked to a teenager.
No, not that way. No, not that way.
From Yemen, okay? Who everyone called, myself included, called Tim Houthi Charlemagne, or Chalamet.
Is that the One Piece one?
Yeah, exactly. Now this kid is like, I think he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him. Which means that for most of his life, he has withstood genocide, right?
Sure.
He is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically.
It's talking to Anne Frank, bro. All right, we're gonna cut over to Hassan's reaction here. I just want to hear.
Oh, yeah. You know, where's that part of Anne Frank's diary when she was also rating ships? Like, these are things.
It's absurd. So obviously Hasan liked this. He was super happy about it. Really into it. And the first clip in this whole video is like, it has nothing to do with any of the arguments. It's one of his patented, isn't this the guy that comments that like have to proceed like he has to poison the well so hard.
About my enemies tweet, another Hasan hater got exposed for pulling a V. Who did? Muda? Wait, what did Muda do? Oh no, is he into Lolly?
Isn't that the guy who's like into Lolly, who like watched a bunch of Lolly with like the Nux Taku guy? Isn't that the guy that...
Shut the up. Ain't no way. Ain't no way that Muda is into Lolly. No, I don't believe that. That sounds nuts. Wait, why is his account locked? Why is his account inactive, preventing impersonation? Wait, what? Wait, what? Resurface video of Oompaville, some ordinary gamers and Nux Taku watching lolly porn together on a Discord call? Can't speak for Caleb. From what I remember regarding stuff like this is stuff from Nux showing us hentai for his competitions, and usually...
Dude, Hassan Piker, when Ethan Klein makes like a 1 hour takedown, or a little longer than that, like a 4 hour takedown video. Yeah, guys, I don't have time to watch this. Fucking Hassan Piker, when one of his haters gets exposed on Reddit. Oh shit, dude, we have to do all the research. We're gonna pull up the Reddit thread. We're gonna launch a full-scale investigation. I'm gonna just fire off that Mutahar is a lolly lover right off the fucking bat, just in case. We can always correct that later. Who cares? I obviously didn't know, so I could just say it and see what happens.
In this, there are around multiple creators. No defense here. I'm not knowledgeable on anything anime, and I blindly assume someone we collaborated at the time showed us hentai and nothing illegal. Since this appears to now come from something more sinister, I apologize for what I said in this, and I'm livid at Nux, who was quite against this kind of material in both public and private conversations with us. Whatever he showed us at the time, I had believed would just fall under legal hentai banner in Canada and the US, and assumed poorly that all of it would just be legal, and after filming, just go on with my day. Let's not dive into that.
Yeah, this is actually a response to the video we just watched, in case you're wondering.
A somber pit of hell, please. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't seem like it's entirely Mutahar's fault. Now, in a situation, if there was ever like a comparable situation where I was in the crosshairs in a similar vein, I'm sure he would farm that sweet Som points aggressively and in the most sinister fashion possible.
Just to be clear, this guy was fucking hookers at a brothel that was raided because they had minors there. Just to be clear. So I would say that's probably like one step above this, I guess.
Will not be doing that to him. I don't think that he was friends with that one guy Nooks. He's the guy with a VTube avatar, right? That like definitely is into some weird. But you know, I won't do that to him. I don't think that this is as damning for Mudahar. I don't know what the video is. I don't know what he says in the video. And I like Oompaville in general. I haven't seen anything gross or weird from him. So hopping on a Discord call to watch hentai is wild though. Yeah, no, I know it's gross. It's weird, but I don't think that Mudahar.
Dude, Hasan is so nice to not like openly slander everybody here. He's such a good guy for that, dude. I mean, yeah, they would definitely slander him given the opportunity, but he needs those brownie points. He's such a good guy.
Like a enjoyer personally, or at least that is not the damning evidence that you think it is. Once again, though, I will repeat, Mudahar especially runs with a very weird crowd, and not only does he run with a very weird crowd,
dude, I'm so sorry. Wait, guys, I'm such a nice guy. I would never slander him, but all of his friends, he runs in a real weird crowd, guys. Real weird.
Time and time again, tugged on the Hasan heartstrings over and over again, with all the other.
Who could he be talking about, Chad? Who could he be talking about?
Aligns with, and has actively played a role in the. Has actively played a role in the we should get Twitch banned or we should get Hasan deplatformed train. Extra weird considering that he, you know, went to the Hajj, went to the Mecca. And not only that, but also, you know, the fan base that he's trying to cultivate desperately dehumanizes him, or at least the people that he aligns with.
Mudahar's right wing. Right wingers hate Indians. They call him a street shitter. I can't believe that you're.
What is Bunty King?
You're the new Bunty King, Mudahar. You're being taken advantage by all those right wingers. Why don't you just platform terrorists like I do?
Legitimately hate Muslims.
Come on,
like,
join Hamasabi.
Actually despises Muslims and brown people. So kind of odd. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, Muda has talked about Gaza twice.
Come on, Muda. You're Neo Bunty King. All right. Stop being the token brown guy. Join the club.
Both about Hasan. Yeah. All of those cowardly drama farming pieces of
cowardly. By the way, this guy literally runs from Destiny on every fucking opportunity he can get.
It watched a genocide unfold for 12 months and rarely ever talked about it because they were too afraid of pissing off people. And the only time
I am not afraid I am not afraid to tell people that I do not give a flying fuck about foreign conflicts. I am not afraid, chat. I do not care. At all. I don't spend like more than a fucking second thinking about it. And the second is when I'm reacting to videos of other people talking about it. That is the most I think about it. When I go offline, I'm not reading fucking CNN. I'm not reading Fox News. I don't care what's going on in fucking third world. I don't care.
Ever talked about it was to attack a Muslim.
I live in fucking America. This is hundreds of thousands of miles away. It literally will never impact my life. I'm never going there. I don't think about it at all.
Actually is you know, brave enough to put himself out there with their actual positions. I have no respect for shameful, centrist, drama farming, always center right, always reactionary pieces of shit. Okay? No respect whatsoever.
Bro, if Twitch had its fucking way, all politics debates would be about fucking Ukraine, Russia, Palestine, Israel, and trans people. Okay? That would be the entire fucking DNC. They would just have a fucking convention of people talking about trans issues, Palestine, and fucking Ukraine. That it's literally not a top 5 issue for like any American voter. Any of them.
You're a shell of a man. You're nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Because these sorts of
this is a bad empanada video from a month ago. YouTubers have thoughts on genocide. Oh, this is a long-standing bad empanada tradition, I guess. I didn't even realize. Yeah, these guys.
So he shouts out like schizophrenic doxer bad empanada.
All of these guys. What is this? Nicholas DeOrio? Or
wait, what? Wait. I didn't even know I was... Again? Wait, I didn't know that was in here.
Isn't this like Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking dipshit like crypto fascist dudes too. This video is actually Destiny. Yeah, I like that we're getting our notes from this guy, by the way, in terms of who we need to ban. Didn't this guy literally used to have like a straight up Nazi program? This guy said, I have estrogen coming out of my body. Dude, are Republicans this delusional? I mean, is he wait, I'm sorry, hold on. I mean, voting for Trump is one thing, and I've always said that like the most psychotic thing that Republicans do is like act like he's like this macho, sexy, handsome man. But I never really thought that this fucking dude would be like, dude, you're such a soy boy. Not only that, but I'm gonna fat shame here too. This fat piece of shit literally fucking earlier said I'm oozing with estrogen. That is directly a fucking shot at like, that is infinitely more homophobic, or rather, I guess maybe transphobic, than implying that someone is maybe confused about their own sexuality. Dude, nothing I hate more than fucking annoying right-wing shitters. Did you debate Nick DeOrio on Twitch? No, I don't know who the fuck that person is. And I'm not interested in like debating your fucking random friend, okay? It's no different than being like, debate my uncle. Actually, guess what? Your uncle would probably be more interesting than some fucking random essay guy who I just clicked on his name earlier. And no, it's just not happening, bro. I'm sorry.
No way!
Have thoughts on genocide.
Dude, this guy fucking pretends he doesn't know me once a month. I didn't know he did it again.
Oh, this is a long-standing bad empanada tradition, I guess. I didn't even realize. Yeah, these guys, all of these guys. What is this? Nicholas DeOrio or whatever? The Oreo guy. All these.
I'm not even in the clip. Oh, wait, no, I am. Hold on. Wait, that's actually me. Wait, that's actually me. Holy fuck, I'm actually in the clip. Holy shit.
Dudes that love. Yeah, all these dudes that love being edgy online had no words for the.
Wait, what the fuck, dude? I didn't know this was in here.
Child mutilation factor.
Dude, this guy sucks. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, all these dudes that love being edgy online had no words for the child mutilation factory that was unfolding, and the only time they ever seemingly talk about anything Israel-Palestine adjacent is when they turn around and they talk about another Twitch streamer or a YouTuber and how they have to be banned. Disgusting. Also, I didn't know that.
Bro, that is so fucking rich coming from this guy. Holy shit, dude.
Look at this guy. I'm not gonna lie, I used to like Muda's deep dives
wow.
into niche IT topics is informative, but after what he's been doing for the past year.
Bro, why did nobody tell me this happened? I swear to God, I didn't have this prepped. I didn't know it was in this. That's so fucking funny.
Every single iota of respect for him and unself. Coward. Oh no, I used to talk to him. I used to talk to Muda. Like,
what do these guys think we do all night? We get off stream and we're like, oh fuck, dude, what the fuck is happening in the Ukraine? Oh man, bro. You know what? Look, dude, I just wish I could do something. I just wish I could do something about it. Fuck me, man. You think I just keep I'm just sitting up awake all night being like, God, I just fucking wish I could talk about it on my platform. But I can't because the only thing people want to see me talk about is influencer drama. And I just wish I could break out of the mold and just talk about fucking Palestine all day. It's like, oh my God, bro. I'm sorry, dude. It's so fucking stupid. Why the fuck do you want to hear about dumb, politically fucking ignorant people talk about these issues? You know why? Because you just want me to get on stream and say something fucking retarded about it. So you guys can make your fucking live streams talking about what all these commentary guys are doing. Oh, this guy's a fucking anti-Semite. Oh, this guy's a fucking... Dude, when you have people who are uninformed and talk about politics because they heard other people say shit, that's exactly how you get guys like fucking JonTron who go on Destiny stream and say fucking absurd, retarded shit. Okay, racist shit. Okay, that's exactly how you have people like fucking Asmongold who make the comments that he made. Okay, it's just more content for them to farm. I don't know. Why do you want fucking people who know nothing about any of this shit to talk about it more? What's your end goal there?
Nice enough?
We used to DM back and forth. I thought it was chill. I would ask him for advice on Steam Deck related. I'm not expecting him to be, to avoid talking about me for that reason. Okay, that's not what my expectation is at all. But I would have thought that he would be at least somewhat charitable and more understanding, or even reach out to be like, hey, I've been hearing a lot of stuff that people are saying about you.
Bro, this is not a fucking, this is not like a, hey man, I'm hearing some weird things that you've been doing on stream. Bro, you call the fucking a shipjacker a fucking, like, look at these musical people as they round up the people on this ship and commandeer the vessel. Okay, this is like way past, hey dude, just want to tap you on the shoulder. I've been hearing that you've been platforming a terrorist recently. Like, what kind of kid gloves do you want, man? This is so weird.
I wonder if it's true. Because I feel like that at that point is not even friendship. That at that point is just like doing your goddamn journalistic due diligence if you're going to write a YouTube essay. That was what I was trying to reference when
Wait, someone in chat just said the flute background music, turn it off. Wait, what? There's what flute background music? I think that's your computer.
As we're saying that Muda was caught in a resurfaced video watching.
Chat, do you hear the flute too? I hear the flute. No one hears the, what the fuck? Dude, turn off the flute in my mind.
of drawn children. That charitability that I offered in my analysis is not because I'm friends with him. I clearly am not. Okay? It's because I'm not a asshole. Muda is a large content creator. It'd be super easy for me to just like make a YouTube video dedicated to exposing him and demanding accountability. Okay, and I'm sure there are plenty of people who hate him as well.
And we don't pay the rent.
Wait, where is it? Hold on. Where is it? Turn the flute off. Turn the flute off. Turn off the flute. They're too loud. Turn off the flute.
Turn them off. Let's get ready. Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights.
That's usually how it works. That's usually how these dip make YouTube videos. The reason why I'm not doing that, and the reason why I don't care to do that, is because I don't think that there's enough evidence for him to, to be called a porn enjoyer. He simply was. Oh, it seems friends with one.
Well, I can't believe we're all the way back to this again. He just talked like so much shit, poisoned the well. He's like, but guys, there's no evidence here that he loves Lolly Khan, guys. Come on.
Still friends with him, but regardless. Also, I read somewhere on the Reddit that Mudahar actually basically nuked his whole account and is keeping it inactive, preventing impersonation exclusively because Twitter got too racist for him. It's like, dog. You literally court racist, for the record.
You court racist.
I wanted to see if he's
guys. Listen, I'm gonna be charitable, all right? I don't think that he likes Lolicon, but he is literally creating the Third Reich live on YouTube.com right now.
About Palestine at all?
Dude, guys, Mudahar hasn't talked about Palestine at all.
This Israeli company is spying on everyone. Twitch is a disgustingly evil platform. 1 million views.
Tells me
38-minute
Dude, if he just uploaded one more video, the genocide would stop. What are we doing? Dude, hey guys, it's me, Mudahar here, and I just wanted to say that blowing up children is wrong. Hey guys, it's me, Mudahar here, and... and I was going to do a deep web video today, but I just wanted to say that, it's really fucked up when war crimes happen. That's what we needed here.
1 million views. To be fair, Asmongold's being banned might have been a blessing considering bro finally cleaned his house, which is finally what happens when Discord moms run a multi-million-dollar app. I usually avoid these issues and don't take sides because I'm not knowledgeable on the topic, only to immediately proceed labeling people knowledgeable on the subject and speaking out against genocide, polarized extremists. Wait, is his audience dunking on him for this? This isn't about Hasan. Problem is Hasan is the farthest thing from knowledgeable on the subject. There is a reason why he won't debate Destiny. He'll eat him alive. That's so awesome.
Bro, he's literally getting fucking one-guyed by someone else's comment section. Holy shit, dude. True.
Trying to both sides an active genocide will never not be funny to me. Dude, just shut up. Making fun of veterans is just unjustly invaded nations at the behest of an empire is incomparable to an idiotic slop content creator. Asmongold's the worst kind of slop as he barely makes any creative content of his own. Making an incentive sweeping generalization about victims of genocide.
Dude, I love watching the content fucking machines fight with each other. No, actually, Asmongold's content does nothing for me. I watch Hassan Piker react to videos and not do anything transformative. He's the better one. It's just left versus right on fucking moochers, bro.
This came from an inferior culture. No dog whistle, no insinuations. I like how he's talking about the U.S. military like he isn't Canadian. Your ramble at the end was really based. I agree. All this hateful content really slowly affects you and just makes you more callous and disappointed in the world. On streams, I've maintained this is a conflict that shouldn't exist. With the death toll rising and innocents displaced, I would hope this conflict ends at some point before the end of my life. This is how most people treat this complex situation. We don't like seeing dead children. If you asked me on the stream, you'd hear these exact words relayed back at you. If you want to see change, write to your MP and ask them to discuss this on your behalf.
How many of these guys out of this whole community, because I genuinely don't know the answer, after October 7th were like, guys, listen, raping civilians is very bad. We should not be raping... Oh, no, wait, wasn't Hasan saying that woman... I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't remember. What was Hasan saying about that, like, the raped and murdered woman who was in the back of that car? I'm just curious.
225.
Is this the guy who was, like, laughing at Kamala Harris because she acknowledged that there was, like, rapes happening?
2024. The complexity and the nuance of you know, daily baby murder. It's too complex. It's too nuanced. Genocide is too complex and nuanced to have an opinion on. You know what was not too complex and nuanced to have an opinion on, though? Talking and besmirching people who actually do talk about the genocide and saying that Twitch is inconsistent and...
Dude, I'm so virtuous. I talk about something, meaning that all of my stuff is allowed to be wrong. I'm allowed to platform extremist content creators. I'm allowed to fucking glorify terrorism, all right? That because I am talking about the issues that matter. I'm a virtuous retard.
And using Islamophobic piece of Destiny and Dan Saltman's website to do such a thing.
Islamophobic Destiny and Dan Saltman. Dude, he's still mauling about Twitcher terrorists. Dude, it's not because you're fucking from Turkey, all right? You were born in fucking New Jersey, but it's not because you're from fucking Turkey, all right? That's not the comparison. It's because everything that you say sounds like a fucking terrorist. That's why the game is fucking hard. Okay, you can sit there and not know if it's Mike from Pasty White, PA, make a comment, or fucking Osama bin Laden. That's why people are saying that, bro.
These are the same people, by the way, who despise, okay? Remember, these are the same people who despise these like mass brigading campaigns. These are the same people who love free speech. These are the same people who...
I like the implication that he doesn't love free speech. These are those free speech people. You're such an easy sell to my audience. I don't know why more people won't support you.
Hate when people engage in this SJW style conquest to get people deplatformed, you know? Centrist guys using a Willie Mac video as a source to say Hasan is out of his depth is also pretty funny, or not knowledgeable on issues is also pretty funny, especially considering that the person who you're using as a source to compile videos literally does not know a single goddamn thing about Israel, Palestine, Gaza, or any number of different issues. It's drama slop compounded on top of...
Fine, I'll put the flute back on, guys. No, not that one!
Drama slop. Oh... He says at the end of the video he's done with drama content. This is not drama content. This is actively signaling to deplatform a content creator who you're too cowardly to have a genuine opinion on in terms of like the issues that he speaks of. Okay? You don't want to say anything about Gaza. You're too scared. Okay? And I understand that. I'll be very charitable to you know, brown content creators who get harassed endlessly, especially if they're Muslim too.
Come on, brown Muslim guy. Why are you not on the chosen side, okay? Dude, these are all the people who are mad at like the fucking dude. We love our Latinos until they vote for Donald Trump. Then we're gonna start going on Twitter and bashing all the Latino voters because they didn't vote for the people that we wanted them to.
I understand the space is inherently hostile. I watched it. Muda said Anne Frank isn't comparable to the Houthi kid because Anne Frank died. That's an insane thing. They're both teenagers who experienced a genocide. You have an issue with that if you either A, don't believe that the...
Hey, I'm sorry. So what page of Anne Frank's diary did she like draw a crude picture of somebody's head getting fucking impaled with a stake? I'm just super curious. I'm super curious. At which part of Anne Frank's diary did she like commandeer a vessel and take fucking prisoners?
the famine that Yemen was placed under is you know, real, that they were just not experiencing that at all, or you just think that like brown people can't experience genocide. Now, it's additionally weird when it's a Muslim brown guy who feels that way. It's just like,
just to be clear, I'm pretty sure the fucking Houthi terrorist wasn't the specific person. I'm talking about the video Hassan watched, where he watched them commandeer a vessel.
Me to my core. He's Indian, so yeah, okay. What, you think Indians don't get an endless amount of smoke from racists online? What are we talking about? They're like the #1 primary
This
target
guy's
of
playing Muda's race card. I've never seen this before. He doesn't know what to say, so he's just leaning in like, Muda, don't you realize lots of racists out there? You should change teams. Like, dude, fucking white presenting Hassan Piker has gotten so fucking... Dude, he's gotten so desperate, he's pulling other people's race cards.
Of white supremacists, especially online. That's the reason why he had...
Is Mudahar Muslim? I don't know, it's a coin flip. Who knows? Brown guy. It's either one or the other.
bail on his... That's the reason why he had to bail on his Twitter account. He's Indian and Muslim. He's getting double... This, I think, is really...
Statistically, you're batting 500 if you're guessing that a brown...
cowardly, though. Okay? Because, like, say it with your chest. Say that you actually like what Israel is doing then. Or say it's defensible. You know, if that's truly what you believe, you could be that guy.
You don't even have to, because if I just say Israel has the right to exist, you label me a Zionist anyway. That's all I have to say is Israel has a right to exist, and then all of the things I say other than that have been completely disregarded.
Be that guy.
Really
or say what
Why?
Or say what Israel's doing is indefensible. Don't do this. This is lame as...
Because if you do that, you'll gaslight your fucking friend and treat him like shit, who you got a podcast with. Yeah.
Hitting it from this silly ass, like, I'm a centrist. Both sides are saying crazy stuff. You know, and really everybody needs to be banned or whatever.
So wait, I'm fucking, hold on. So you can't both sides this issue at all? So does that mean Hasan is like co-signing every single thing that like Hamas is doing? That like any of these people in Gaza are doing? Like, is this an advocation for fucking October 7th? Is that cool too, I guess, for him? Is that what he's into? Or is there no nuance to this discussion at all? It's just all black and white.
Is ridiculous. It's my least favorite characteristic of a lot of these like drama orbiters. They don't have any sort of like real political convictions.
Really
very, very, very annoying. But I do...
It's super annoying when I can't just call these people a Nazi and then their audience doesn't care because you've overused words like genocide, Zionism, grifter. Grifter's another one. Nazi. Okay, these words don't fucking mean anything anymore. They all are just like synonyms for people I don't like. There's no meaning behind any of these terms. You've completely destroyed them.
I really like you.
See that even his own fan base was like talking about Mudahar trying to both sides an act of genocide. It makes me happy to see that there are people in his chat who are like, what are you doing? As a Libyan man, I call bullshit or insane if you really think you're helping anyone by invading and killing innocent people, calling it they're fighting for freedom is just wild. And I lived in Libya before your freedom came. Man would die to bring on his take. Even on the veterans. No way Muda just said that anti-Zionism can be equated with anti-Semitism.
It's like, I can't believe he's blaming this on us. Like, all these guys are the reason why Twitch is destroying the platform. All the ad revenue is gone. It's like, dude, Frogan didn't even get banned for saying that she hopes all veterans get PTSD.
Who is Bunty
I'm sorry. At some point, you have to look at your own platform. Again, this is the platform that didn't realize DMCA strikes would start coming in as like streaming got bigger. So they didn't have any back-end systems made for it. So people were getting VODs hit.
Who is Bunty King?
People were getting VODs hit during the big DMCA wave of things they thought they deleted because they were stored on the back end of Twitch, and these big music companies could still hit them. Okay? They had to send an email out apologizing because they didn't teach people about the risks of DMCA.
Nicholas DeOrio?
All right? This platform is run like shit. There is no consistency on anything. Yes, it is crazy that Denim's, Frogan, and all those other guys got 30 days banned for the comment that they made, while Asmongold only got, what did Asmongold get? Asmongold got 15 days or something like that. But again, Frogan didn't even get a day for the comment about the veterans. That just wasn't even a ban, despite the fact that that's the most clearly labeled bannable offense in their own terms of service. So when you say stuff like, wow, the bans weren't fair, they're never fair. They don't know. The site has no idea what it's doing. On a daily basis, whatever you think you knew about Twitch, you can throw it out the window. Doesn't matter. You know? So it's like, yeah, of course the fucking bans are unfair. The site sucks and needs to get obliterated.
Badmouth the people that take a bullet for your freedoms every single day. The most outrageous you'll ever hear. Like,
dude, this is slop, and it works so well. American soldiers are dying so that you can have free speech.
Again, like, slop is the new word. Slop is content we don't like. That's just another one. Everything is slop now. Again, this guy literally fucking streams. All of the content that he posts on other social media sites are inherently slop by definition.
You don't, how dare you?
It almost sounds like he thinks that, like, the topic is what makes slop. Well, you're talking about drama and not Palestine. Therefore, your content is slop. That's not how that works either.
How dare you badmouth the American veterans, I say, as a Canadian.
downright, just hateful rhetoric. Now, obviously, the people who are in the military were like, whoa, we're getting that Camaro. I have never in a million years met somebody, and I've met plenty of friends, friends who are actually active military, people that are retired military at this point. They've done their careers. People that have played video games who've told me about their stories. Never once have I ever heard people jump into the army for that free, juicy Camaro. Ooh.
Wait, dog, you're Canadian. Why are you talking about this? Wait. Is he saying that, like, Americans are not victim to the poverty draft and the predatory nature that recruiters operate in?
This guy knows he's, like, from Turkey, right? Like, yeah, I guess you were born in New Jersey, so good for you, but, like, you know you're from Turkey. Okay.
And it's actually because they have this profound sense of duty to what? Secure a poppy field in Afghanistan so that the CIA can continue having black budget operation funds? Is that, you don't understand, brother?
Hasan was on Piers Morgan recently, right? Like, I'm so confused. Wait, he can't say anything about it because he's Canadian?
Not ask you nice enough?
Dude, why are these guys not covering Palestine? Talks about politics that Hasan doesn't like. Why is this Canadian talking about politics?
When I went down there to the Korengal Valley, okay, and an IED exploded under my Humvee, and because we didn't have armor under the bottom of it for IEDs in the first round of conflict, I knew that I lost my legs specifically so that Americans could have free speech. Like, what do you mean? None of those know what America is or what free speech is. Like, God, YouTubers and their understanding of the world is so infantile. It's like a child that watched a Hollywood movie and think like, no, that's what it is. It's not, because American career prospects are dire and plenty of people are trying to escape horrifying conditions, whether it be homelessness, whether it be drug use and abuse at home, and that the military is seen as the only way they can get some sort of upward social mobility. And this is, of course, outside of the people that go through the officers program or come from long-standing family, military families. Because there's like 3 different brackets in the American military across the board in the most reductive ways possible. I can describe
what YouTubers is even talking about at this point. It's just like a vagity. It's like, YouTubers I don't like have this position. They're all wrong for X reason. I won't talk to any of them because on the off chance that they like beat me in this confrontation, I will look significantly worse than I did previously. And I won't talk to anybody else that's, I guess, as knowledgeable or has done the same exact research that I've done, because I would be the dumbest person in any given room.
Bit, and as people that are victims of the poverty draft, people that want to become Pete Buttigieg and go through the officers program, and inevitably go into office, and also people that come from military families, okay, like career professional military families, okay. The large chunk of the base of the grunts that get their dicks blown off by a sniper rifle while they are, protecting a poppy field or, I don't know, bullying some file warlords or some shit.
Bullying some pedophile warlords.
Those guys are actually a part of the grunt branch that is escaping poverty, or at least they think they're escaping poverty, because
Bunty
the
King to you?
recruiters are lying to them.
Who is Bunty
That
King?
is the Camaro. wing of the American military.
He should talk to Muda. Dude, the easiest way for Muda to get a W is for a debate with Hasan to be set up. Unironically, this is probably the closest to a Muda W that we'll see for the entire night. But if he wants an easy one, he should debate Hassan Piker. Because I guarantee you, as much as Hasan is like covering this stuff 24 hours a day, it's probably like if you give Muda like 10 hours of Batman prep time, I think he could come in.
Military, okay? Those guys think falsely that if they go through basic training and then they get out of basic training and they put their time in the military and they go out and tour, okay?
All right. We're probably mostly done here because we're going to get into some of the newer stuff. But the point of the matter is he covers the video. His preempt is all about the lolicon stuff with Nux Taco.
And when he said, when he said that like white people are superior, he was simply talking about something different.
Every clip, do you just click any fucking time spot of any of this shit? There's something funny there. Holy fuck.
And he wasn't being serious. Oh, it's just a joke, lol.
Jesus.
But then they're like, actually, Sabra, according to this Wikipedia page, means Jewish person born in Israel. So, it's giving anti-Semitism, sweetie.
Arab being at the top, Jew being at the bottom, okay? See,
Arab and Jew is not different designations. There is literally an Arab Jew on the panel. Oh my God. There is an Arab Jewish person who was banned in this process.
Dude, it's like crazy. If you cut out all the context of the entire situation, all the stuff they say on the panel, the reference that Denims makes directly to Zionism when Ethan's name comes up, it's almost like they did nothing wrong.
Arab and Jew as a...
Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? Thank you so much for the 50 memberships.
Designation is created by Israel. That is Israel's classification, okay? Because Israel is a fascist country with racist demographic concerns. So they have slotted out people of Jewish background, both ethnically and religiously, as a specific subsect of society, and claim that Arabs are those, regardless if they come from the same countries or not, Arabs are those who are not of the Jewish faith. Okay? This is not an Arab Jew classification. Notice how you had to go through different hoops to be like, yeah, this very obvious thing, the Sabra hummus, love Sabra hummus in this tier list to determine whether someone is valid and Arab coded.
I want to hear the terrorist stuff. That's probably the last thing I want from this VOD. Let's see, 38.
Have to be terrorists. They can be literal criminal gangs. Like, if you're out there promoting the Hells Angels or you're promoting the Mexican drug cartels, you would probably get a serious ban.
You missed a Allah Akbar memes.
But in this situation, Twitch's largest political streamer, left-wing political streamer, can just out...
Clean your shirt, man. What the fuck is this disrespectful ass...
Dude, he didn't dress to the nines to expose him.
By the way,
left-wing political streamer can just out...
Clean your shirt, man. What the fuck is this disrespectful ass bull? By the way, Jesus Christ, you're like spitting all over yourself while you're doing this commentary? How gross. Oh my God. What a goddamn slob, dude.
God,
you got
man.
Cum stains on your t-shirt. Talking about that you don't know anything about. Ugh. Bro has never watched a Vice video? I know. Spitting out tonsil stones on his shirt. No, Jesus.
Right. Promote this kind of stuff on the platform. And it's not even just that. It gets to a point where, like, imagine being a political streamer and you bring a actual pirate, a actual criminal onto your streams. And instead of, being respectful and being a proper journalist, you get on your knees and suck their for about...
Yawn. I can't believe it. You hit a...
You hired a terrorist!
An actual pirate. No, he's not an actual pirate. Okay? He's not. An actual criminal. Mods! He's a criminal! Once again, 10 months ago.
Bro, he's so fucking mad! I love this. I love this so much, dude.
Every other outlet has also interviewed him. And also, they didn't call him a Houthi either. You want to know why? Because he's not one. And it would be ridiculous for them to say that if he's not it. Okay?
About 32 minutes. Watch this clip.
That's so fucking funny. He has no response. Of course he doesn't have a response. It's indefensible.
They win over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America.
This is him talking about what the Ansar Allah, the Houthis, are doing. It's not something he did. We know he didn't do this. Okay?
The U.S. government.
That's so...
Dude, listen to that awkward laugh from Hasan.
No, he didn't do this. Okay?
The U.S. government.
That's so funny. Think about China. You know anything about China?
That was the most uncomfortable laugh I've ever seen.
Spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did caught with them, and he
like, that's not true. This is like objectively false. Okay? For the record. Holy shit, this was like 50 pounds ago for you? No, it wasn't. I just have a big beard there. But that's besides the point. Like, as far as I understand, there was not a single ship captain that was Chinese out of any of the apprehended ships.
Guys, listen, none of the ship captains were Chinese. The people who are still missing to this day were not of Chinese origin.
He wasn't a part of any of the apprehensions anyway.
Did they ever find? I last time I covered this, they didn't. Like, those people were unaccounted for. Did they ever find those people?
Music with him, and he was vibing, so he likes him. Yeah.
So I mean, what? That's so crazy. So they're just chilling with the captains. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that we're talking about somebody that has been taken hostage, who, quote-unquote, is being chilled with. And again, this is just right on Twitch.
America's like America's like blowing them up while they're just like doing and chilling with the captains. Like, how does he feel about that? Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't know how to describe.
Now, these clips were seen 8 months ago on Willie Mack's channel, which you can watch this video right now. Hassan will...
Please go watch Willie Mack's channel. He knows everything about...
Dude, Willie's been fucking like... Willie has currently been... for like the better part of a year, dude.
The subject. He doesn't know shit. He doesn't know anything. I watched the piece that Bad Empanada watched, and I was shocked at how stupid he was. I thought it was I thought there was at least like some like disagreements. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they're
like, even if Willie is retarded, let's say hypothetically Willie is retarded, then why did he look good in his conversation with you?
Had to have been some kind of like ideological disagreements there. No, not even. He's just a dumbass. Half the video is that he literally clipped to claim I'm advocating for when I'm advocating against that very position. I did not even know that half of these Hasan is pro-Russia content creators were literally just operating on not understanding anything I'm saying or not knowing anything about the issue at all.
Sit there and hype these people without any care in the world. Like, this man does not critically apply.
And again, you bring it up in the chat, and I'll just mention it again. He's saying, I watched a little bit of this video from Bad Empanada, crazy malicious doxer guy. Just to be clear, that's all he's done here. He won't watch the full Ethan response, even though we all know he saw it, right? He won't watch the full Willie video, even though we all know he watches every single one of them. All right, this guy pretends he has no idea who any of us are, but he's super knowledgeable on like every single thing we talk about. Okay, he's either being fed by like the best Smaggle Daggle clone in the world, or this guy is locked in and he knows what every single person is saying about him.
Journalism. He is just...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. The interview itself has journalistic value. I'm not a journalist. I'm a commentator. Also, is Willie Mack doing journalism? Like, what's happening?
Just showing these people and promoting them in this incredibly positive light when there are actually just pirates and terrorists who are putting people in
If it titled this The Houthis and the Blowfish.
harm's way, especially people that have nothing.
Yeah, the state that is implementing a blockade on the Red Sea in an effort to stop the genocide is actually putting people in harm's way, not the state that is doing a genocide, and not America and all of the other coalition forces that started blowing up Yemen because they decided to stop ships from going through the Red Sea because they wanted to enforce some kind of penalty for the genocide that Israel was conducting. Oh my God. Thank you, Mudahar. I'm glad that you arrived at a reasonable conclusion. It's actually, why does nobody want to talk about the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising and the violence that these...
Oh my God, bro. This is so awesome.
Jewish people in the ghettos were subjecting the Germans to. Oh, the horror. Why is nobody talking about the Allied coalition forces in World...
Bro, why is he leaning so hard into the Nazi angle? I mean, it's just so fucking funny. How does he not realize how bad optics it is every single time people criticize him to compare it to, like, the Holocaust? It's actually fucking crazy.
Too. Oh, the
It's like his go-to. His go-to is the Holocaust.
Horror. Why is nobody talking about the Allied coalition forces in World War II, the bombing of Dresden? Unacceptable. Now, of course, the merchant ships are not Nazis, okay? And I would never advocate to harm the people on these ships. They are putting a blockade.
Oh, no, of course you wouldn't. No, you're so virtuous.
They very clearly have said that their goals is to stop Israel from harming Palestinians further. This is an understandable and, dare I say, just goal, okay? That's it.
Yeah, instant walk by. He does it every single time, yeah.
In the words of Norm Finkelstein, who talks about his parents, who are Holocaust survivors, quite a bit when he talks about...
Is Norm Finkelstein one of the approved Jews that Ethan's allowed to talk to? Did you give Norm Finkelstein Ethan's phone number too? Like, he can get a big phone call together with approved Jew Sam Cedar, who could explain to him the plight of the Palestinian people.
This specific comparison to the Ansar Allah movement, to the Yemeni Houthis.
It's so funny because this whole fucking thing is leaning into like, Mudahar, you're like the approved brown guy for the Nazi cause. Come on, Mudahar, you're like the approved brown guy who's allowed to hang out with all those alt-righters. That's the stuff you're pushing right now. Meanwhile, he's got like the approved Jew list to go talk to Ethan Klein to convince him that the Palestinian plight is more important than his own feelings towards Israel.
And what they are doing in the Red Sea. He asks, if you had the opportunity as a state to stop the Holocaust and you took actions such as a blockade that disrupted German supply lines, for example, would I sit back and say, how dare you do that? Or would I champion that cause? And the answer is clear for many people. The answer is pretty clear. And that's kind of what I try to communicate to people who usually approach the subject matter with the exact same idiotic perspective that this dumbass Mudahar is implementing here. Brown guy terrorists, bad. They're doing piracy. It's unacceptable. We never have
Oh my God, bro.
that same principle for America's blockade. America's literally overtaken shipping tankers.
Dude, just say the America deserves 9/11 clip again, please. Please, at this point, like, I don't even think it wouldn't even be a news headline.
Between Venezuela,
Like, all the stuff that he said here is so much stupider than that.
or Cuba and Iran, right? The Cuba blockade is unjustifiable and inhumane. The blockade implemented by the Houthis in the Red Sea is perfectly moral and perfectly understandable. It is there to stop a genocide. And it has been successful in spite of the billions of dollars that, the American Navy spent.
Oh, thank God it's been successful. Can we just stop talking about it now? Oh, guys, commentary, it's off. It's off. It's been successful. Crisis averted. We don't have to talk about it. Holy shit.
Operation Prosperity Guardian. They have disrupted trade from the Red Sea so significantly that all of those ships had to go around the Horn of Africa rather than directly cut through the Red Sea. It bankrupted one of Israel's ports. This is one of the least violent ways in which you can resist against an ongoing genocide.
And then there were the rapes on October 7th. I can't, dude. I can't. Everything I've learned about this conflict is against my will. Everything I've learned about this is against my will.
America literally carpet bombed Yemen's capital Sana'a in response to the blockade. Israel itself has also instituted a violent blockade for the past 2 decades around Gaza, not allowing Gazan fishermen to go beyond the 6-mile boundary, and even actually killing humanitarian aid ships like the Turkish one, Mavi Marmara, and killing all of the humanitarian aid organizers that were on that ship for penetrating the Israeli blockade instituted upon the Gazan shores. That is an example of an unjustifiable blockade. Now, here's the problem. Here's the issue. I'm willing to bet if I were to be like, hey, Mudahar, let's say country A is genociding a group of people that they've held captive in Area B. Okay, Area B has reason to want emancipation. Area B has reason.
All right, I'm done. I can't. It's enough politics. Chat, we talked about the Palestinian plight. I'm going to post this to my channel. This is the official Nick DeOrio Palestine video. I might even put it in the title. You've been informed. You've been informed, chat. You know all about it now.